Thank you very much, Professor. First of all, I should thank you for attending this meeting. Actually, it's an honor for all of us to have you here. I've got a question for you. I'd like to know about the pathological roots of Imam Hussein's movement and event. If you can tell us more about that, especially because we can witness some sorts of extremist acts like Qamizani or things like that in the world, especially outside Iran, so they can just create a kind of destructive image of Islam, Can you talk about them a bit for us?
Yeah. Thank you very much for your question. Unfortunately, the pathological side of Imam Abu Abdullah al-Hussein movement, like other side of religious activities or beliefs, both in terms of beliefs or in terms of actions. Unfortunately, we have a majority of plenty cases of extremism. One of them, to show and express your sorrow with regard to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, there are different traditions out of nations. Indians, Iranians, Afghanis, Pakistanis, different people, even Africans, even non-Muslims, they have their own traditions, which sometimes stands out of religion. It's forbidden. It's forbidden, it's haram. And they do it just for the sake of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. In this case, I believe that we have a criterion, and that criterion is the saying of jurists, jurisprudence, fuqaha. They provide us the regulation. We have to follow them. We go by our own decisions, understanding, and willing, and taste. This is first.
Yeah. But sorry, sir.
Sorry interrupting you.
Yeah.
I just want to explain for the audience what does Qamizzadan mean, because we need an explanation of this act. First of all, Qamizzadan is a Persian word. The Arabic is tadbir. And basically what it is that some group of Muslims, a very small minority of them, they take a small knife and they hit themselves on the forehead.
So that sword. It's not knife.
It's a sword or a knife, a much bigger knife than the normal, and they hit themselves with it on the forehead. And they do that for assumingly the love of Ahlul Bayt. Well, what it is a betrayal of the cause of Ahlul Bayt. Because when you go to the social media, what you see is that it, as my dear sister said, it gives a very bad image of the Muslims, and especially the Muslims who follow the school of Ahlul Bayt, alayhim assalam. So this explanation was needed, and I just wanted to explain that. Thank you.
Yeah. But sorry, where is the root? Where are the roots of that? I mean, it's not related to Ahlul Bayt, so it must be related to the culture, you mean?
I was reading from Sayyid Ali Khamenei, Ayatollah Khamenei, that he said in one of his scripts, or one of his sayings, or one of his speeches, that in the Soviet Union, when Soviet Union existed, in the north of this country, located in Azerbaijan, they forbid all kinds of religious activities except one. Except one. This is one of them. They did not forbid. How come that an atheist regime forbids all kinds of religious activities, but not this one? Because it was helping their purpose, maybe. So where does it come from? What is the root of it? We need to do more research about it. I do not have that knowledge right now. But it might have come from other foreign, non-Muslim rituals.
This is very important to know. Normally when we go by extremism, always there is a, foundation and root.
Underlying.
And sometimes you got astonished that it's not Islamic. Here, I borrow the terminology of Marshall Hudson. Marshall Hudson is one of the very great Orientalists, and he has written 3 volumes, very usable in all universities who go by Orientalism. It is called The Advent of Islam. In volume number 1, interestingly, he distinguishes between 2 types of Islam. He said when you talk about Islam, you say Islamic regulations, Islamic laws. Don't imagine that always my actions, my procedures, my style always is attributed to the pure Muhammadian Islam. We have 2 types of Islamic. Whatever could be attributed to Islam. Number 1, Islamic. Number 2, you may become surprised, Islamicate. Islamic and Islamicate. Islamicate means it is not pure Islam. It is the spices, cultural and social spices added by different groups, different nations on the Islamic teachings. And he says we have 2 Islamic teachings and Islamicate teaching. And I believe that things like these taking sword and putting on your forehead to become bloody, it is not Islamic, it's forbidden. I don't go by social media and social impression. Originally, essentially, in Islam, it's forbidden. If really you want to show your love, this is not the way. Go and give the blood to the needy people.
Just one comment, Sheikh. When it comes to the ulama, when we look at 500 years of history, we have to point the fingers also towards ourselves, not only towards others, but towards ourselves. We have scholars who did not clearly go against the tatbir. They did not go against this act. And that is something that we have to self-criticize. And we have to scrutinize our own fatwas or our own verdicts and see why the ulama throughout 500 years of history, not all of them clearly came out and said that this is a forbidden act.
I believe, yes, this is one of the rules. Unfortunately, this could be, but keep in mind that this is minority. The majority of ulama throughout the Islamic history, they believed and they have issued the decree that doing activities and actions like shedding blood on your forehead for the love of Imam Abdullah is forbidden. The majority. But there are, minority, few numbers of fuqaha and jurisprudents who believe that, interestingly, I was in Birmingham and there was a hot discussion about this action among Shias, and I just provided the decree of ulama, and someone came to me and said, no, Ayatollah al-Udma Sistani have issued a decree that yes, leave people to do this. I said, can you provide me the evidence? Based on what? I am familiar with the decrees, fatwa, everything. How could you say? This is sometimes fabricated. So I believe this is exaggeration.